Hello, welcome to SoundBridge. In this video, we'll go over the new features implemented in SoundBridge version 2.4.0. And we'll start off with the biggest one. You might remember that the take lists in the previous version of SoundBridge used to look like this. You would have this button on your take list, and when you press it, you would get the take list and you could choose which one of these takes is actually going to be the one you're hearing, the one on top. We have greatly improved on this feature. This right here is a take list, and the button, as you see, no longer exists on the block. The take list button has been moved to the track, but now once you expand the take list, you can see all the takes. Of course, each one takes on a different color. And to start this off, the first thing I would do after recording in a loop just like this to create a take list, I would start listening for the best of the takes. So you could solo any of the take lanes, and that take lane would take over the audio from the main track. So whichever take is soloed is the one audible. Once I found the best take, I could move the contents of the main track into a new take lane by pressing the Comp to Take button, and I could select the take I like the most and use this arrow to copy it to the main track. I can disengage this solo, and that take is actually the one we are listening to on the main track. In case I wanted to use a part of any other take lane and make a compilation of the best parts of all of these takes, I could use the cut tool. Let's say I wanted to cut in a few places, like here, here, right there, and maybe take a piece of this take right here and a piece of this one maybe. Now that this is done, I can grab any of these small parts and move it up on top of the main track. I can also just select them and use the arrow, and I can do that on any of these. And what I'm essentially doing is I'm creating a compilation and creating a single take out of multiple takes. You can treat these takes and the compilations just like any other audio block, so you can always create crossfades. You can move blocks freely left and right. Now, a really handy feature is that if you're moving blocks up and down, you can always go left and right, but if you hold Alt while dragging, their horizontal position will be locked, and you can only move them up or down. We can always create a new recording or compilation like this, and then just click Comp to Take and make that into another take, ready to record again while preserving the compilation or a take we already had. So the main thing here is that you don't have to record in a loop anymore to create takes. Any recording you create can become a take using the Comp to Take button. Now, on account of that, let me collapse all of this. If I was to record in a loop right here on this track while the track is collapsed, new take lanes would be created automatically once I stop recording, like right now. And you can see a blue triangle being added to the take list button to inform you that there are take lanes that were created and have not been seen yet. Now, that same blue triangle can be observed if I solo a take lane and collapse the track list. Unsolo all will also affect solo buttons on take lanes. Now, this feature will not only allow you to create multiple takes, which you could have done so far in SoundBridge, it will allow you to also create compilations of the best parts of all the takes you've made. Now, let me show you another really cool feature we've added. The group linking functionality right here goes hand in hand with the take list. And I wanted to show that to you on this example where I have a drum recording, so multiple takes of a drum recording, but recorded with multiple microphones. So each one of these tracks holds all of these take lanes, which are multiple recordings of a single mic from a drum kit. You can see that they are a tiny bit different because they record a different part of the drum kit. Now, if I wanted to, let's say, preview a single take out of all of these, I could just link these tracks by just clicking this once. Now, all the block actions and take list actions in this group are linked. That means that if I solo the take lane number 3 in the first track, it will be true for all the tracks that are children of the same group, number 4, and so forth. And if I've decided that, let's say, number 4 is the best take I hear right now, and if I decided to push that one up to the main track, you can see that they would all copy, they would all follow. So all the tracks would do the same exact action. Let me undo that now. And let's say I wanted to make a compilation from parts of these takes. So I could grab the cut tool and let's say cut right here, and you can see that all of the takes number 3 are cut in exactly the same spot, and I could continue on cutting just like this, just like that, on all of them, and maybe right here as well. Now that I have made all of these cuts, I can start creating a compilation. Go back to my select tool and let's say select a part right here. Use the arrow button to copy it to the main track. All the tracks, so all the mics use the same take. Let's say this one, even that one, I'm going to be using for the mid part, and then I'm going to be using this one, initial beginning, and I'm going to be using, let's say that one right here, even though there's some silence, just to show you visually what it looks like. And imagine I like this compilation, but I wanted to try to create another one too. I could just click comp to take, and on all the tracks, that compilation I made would become the take number 7 right there. So you can see all the take actions are linked across all these tracks. All the block actions are linked as well, so wherever I click, that action is transferred to all of the same take lanes or main tracks. Now, let me undo and have the main compilation I just created. If I was to go all the way down, and you can see that I've, for good measure, just added a couple of MIDI tracks. If I was to click right here, you can see that my click is being transferred to all the main tracks. And if I moved it, all of them would move. The MIDI tracks and audio tracks, they're all linked. If I go all the way up on the group track, if I click this link button again, you will see that now only audio is linked. So if I go all the way down, and let's say I click right here, no MIDI is selected. If I clicked only on the MIDI, no audio is selected. So now they're not interlinked. But there's another step. If I clicked it again, only MIDI tracks would be linked. That means that right now, if I click a MIDI track, all of the MIDI tracks get selected. They all act the same. Of course, I can apply cutting, I can apply muting. Everything is applied to all the linked tracks. Now this just makes editing multi-mic recordings of drums a piece of cake. We have also optimized our copy functionality, and let me show you what we can do with this new copy feature. So I could select multiple blocks from multiple tracks like this, copy those, and let's say try to paste them onto the next track. Let's say right here, I would use Control B to paste, and look at what happens. So everything I selected, these files that I've selected, are pasted in such an order on these audio tracks. If audio tracks were not existing, let's say if I were to select the last one, try to paste right there using Control B or Command B on a Mac, it would create new tracks to accommodate pasting the content you have. It would do the same thing for MIDI tracks if they are missing, or any combination of MIDI and audio tracks too. And one final thing, Windows installers now remember any last custom installation location you had. So if you installed SoundBridge to a custom location on your Windows, next time you're upgrading, it would remember and default to that location. Have fun using SoundBridge.